Charges of predatory towing in Chapel Hill have come before local officials for at least a decade. An online search shows scores of negative comments dating back to 2013, where they have 44 one-star reviews out of 56. Some say the towing problems have only gotten worse.
I think McDonald's cameras and Barnes Towing is hooked up together. And when they see them at the office, they call the tow truck driver, and the tow truck driver comes up here because they know exactly what car to come and get. I mean, if he's just coming in and doesn't see the woman, how would he know what car to get?
Hillsborough resident Jimmy Jackson and his friends have come to McDonald's at least 4 times a week for the past 10 to 15 years. They see 3 cars getting towed each week, and he says 90% of the drivers are college girls.
I mean, Barnes is just, I don't know, I just don't understand them. And I told the guy, I said, man, the woman don't have no money, and she got here before you pull off with her car. Let her go.
UNC Chapel Hill sophomore Bethany Pryor was charged a massive amount by Barnes Towing when she left her car at 10 p.m. illegally parked in Chapel Hill. She claims they gave her the wrong address to go get her car and that they changed the amount of money she needed to pay, as well as the payment method.
We get here and the guy is saying it's $240, and we were like, okay. And so we hand him the card. He goes, actually, no, it's $345. And then we hand them the card, and he's like, we only take cash. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. Where are we supposed to have cash? And who carries $345 of cash anyways?
Bethany's mom, Kim Pryor, called Barnes Towing the following day. She had an intense conversation with 2 employees, and one of them hung up on her.
They said, it doesn't matter what you think. This is our business, and we can do what we want to do. There's nobody really that can regulate our prices. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you have to say.
The Pryors filed this police report, and Chapel Hill PD told them that there was nothing they could do.
Well, it used to be that the town did have much stricter regulations around towing. We were able to cap fees, for example. We were able to require towing companies to accept payment by cash or by major credit cards or debit cards. There was a case several years ago that went all the way up to the North Carolina Supreme Court that undid our authority.
Carrboro Mayor Damon Stiles is referring to the case King versus the town of Chapel Hill that requires towing rules to be established by the company itself, and all complaints must go through the North Carolina Attorney General.
When it's a situation where I felt uncomfortable, where I feel like the police enforcement should have been there to help me.
Here are several police reports regarding Barnes Towing, including one detailing a physical altercation. The Attorney General's office was contacted 3 times, 1 email and 2 calls, with no response. Barnes Towing has refused to comment. I'm Caroline Yaffa, reporting.
North Carolina has won the 1982 NCAA championship.
Tradition and excellence are 2 values that have carried thousands of men in light blue through their careers in basketball at UNC. Many started with Coach Dean Smith.
He was my mentor. Not only when I was with here did he care enough about me, but after I left, he was such a big part of my life and my family's life.
The similarities are uncanny between the 2 greats.
I think Coach Brown is probably in the top 5 coaches in the history of basketball, pro and college. You know, sometimes when I was on his staff, Dave Hanners and I, if our back was turned and Coach was talking, sometimes we thought it was Coach Smith. These things that were coming out of his mouth, it was so similar. So, you know, I think Coach Smith is the greatest coach to coach any sport of all time, and Coach Brown is right up there with him.
Smith is the winningest coach in the history of college basketball.
Smith is the cornerstone of the program.
And then it continued, and because Larry played for him, then he did the same things. He emulated Coach Smith when he coached. And, you know, Coach Brown's thing when he was in the NBA was to try to get each player the best possible contract he could get.
Coach Brown and Coach Smith have created a Carolina legacy.
When I think about the Carolina family, it is like the best family, where everybody really does their best to try to make everybody better, either as a player or as a person. And just, there's no other college program where people from the 2020s know people from the 70s. It just doesn't exist.
In every close family, you're bonded together forever.
Well, it's interesting. I traded Hubert when I went to Detroit. I cut Jeff Lebo when he tried out for San Antonio. I worked for Brad Frederick's father when I was at Kansas. He was the AD. I coached Sean May at Charlotte, and Sean had a bad knee. Otherwise, he would have been playing forever. So I feel kind of a connection there. But anybody that played here that was lucky enough to wear the jersey, I think feels exactly the way I do. They're all engaged. They all care about the program.
And no one cared more than Dean Smith, who spent 11 and a half years coaching in the Smith Center. This building is a physical reminder of the program he built. I'm Caroline Yaffa, reporting.